If you're thinking about a story where you've got a bank that could really upend the industry, there's Bank of the Internet, BOFI Holdings, I think is what it goes by, and that's actually a David Gardner pick. Interesting that you mentioned David. You know, there are some specific concerns that I have with that bank. It's growing very fast, which for a bank isn't always a good thing, because when you are suddenly making a whole lot of loans, you have to make sure that those loans are going to the right places, and often those risks don't play out until years down the road. However, it's a great model. It's not going the brick and mortar route, which is what the typical bank is. It's over the internet. It has very, very, very low overhead. So this means two things. It means, one, that it can offer better products to its customers. It can offer more returns to its customers, which obviously attracts customers, and it can attract customers without as much marketing, because you don't need marketing when you're just paying customers more. They find their way to you. And the other thing it does is that it puts more to the bottom line. So one of the many numerical evaluations that you could use for a bank, it's called efficiency ratio, and essentially it's similar to a operating profit margin, and it measures how much profit ends up going to investors, more or less. And BOFI Holdings efficiency ratio is not quite off the charts, but it's close to. So it's a really impressive operation from that perspective.
When you say BOFI is growing very fast, is it growing really fast in the right way, in a good way, as opposed to in a dangerous way?
It's difficult to tell. That's one of those things that investors really just have to watch and see how things play out, because the number of loans, the size of the balance sheet has literally exploded over the past few years. I mean, I've looked at the numbers, I don't have them off the top of my head, but I mean, it's multiples of the size that it was just a few years ago. And so banks don't offer loan by loan breakdowns for investors to look at. Not that would be great bedtime reading for investors, by the way. That's really what we'd have to look at, and you'd have to be a loan officer to really be able to evaluate all of that. So in that situation, you want to be able to trust the management that's at the bank, and you want to be able to trust that they've hired the right people and are incentivizing people in the right way to make the right types of loans that aren't going to come back and have a lot of risk years down the road. So yeah, the hope would be that this growth is all happening the right way, but investors are going to want to watch that closely in terms of how those loans perform in the years to come.